Welcome back to the next lecture on journal entries. This is the fourth lecture on journal entries. Let us continue with our business and we'll learn how to record few more journal entries. Let us say we have paid some salaries to staff working in the head office, warehouses, distribution centers, etc. We have paid rupees 20 lakhs through check. So we are not handing them over cash, we are giving them checks from our bank. So how do you record this transaction? The entry is salaries account should be debited. Again, we cannot write the name of the individual staff taking the money here. If you write the name of individual staff here in the debit side, they will become detached to the business. They would have to give the money back to the business. That would be the meaning of the journal entry, but which is not. So they are not going to give us the money back. They don't owe money back to the business. They have already provided their services. Hence, we have to record it as an expense. Salaries account debtor to bank account. We are going to credit bank account because bank is the giver now. When we deposited money in the bank, we regarded bank as the receiver. When the bank is giving the money, we have to credit the account. Salaries are nominal account. It is an expense, hence debit. Bank is a personal account. We have to now treat the bank as giver, hence credit. When we deposit money, we treated bank as receiver. When it is giving money or when we are withdrawing money from our bank account through checks, we have to record the bank as the giver so that the bank balance reduces. Let us do some more transactions. Paid repair charges in cash. We have incurred some repair expenses of the factory equipment. There was a breakdown we had to incur. We have to call the repair guys and we have to pay them some cash, say 50,000. So what is the entry we are going to incur? Cash is going out of the business, hence I will credit cash. Cash account credit 50,000. This cash has been spent for an expense called as repairs. Repairs account should be debited. So what we are saying here is for an expenditure called as repairs, we have paid cash. So what is the logic behind the entry? Repairs is a nominal account, expenses and losses, hence debit. Cash is a real account, it's going out of the business, hence credit. Let us do one more transaction. Let us say we have paid some transportation expenses due to the transporter. We have to pay the bills to the transporter. He has transported our raw material from one place to the factory, from the vendor's place to the factory, and we have to pay him a lakh of rupees. We have not yet paid to him. So how do you record this kind of a journal entry? Transportation expenses are due to the transport. That means we have to pay. We have not yet paid. So how do you record the entry? Transportation expenses account should be debited because we have incurred some expenditure. This is a loss for the business, expense for the business. We have not paid cash or neither we have issued a check. So we cannot either write cash or bank here. We have to pay money to the transporter. So I'll write the name of the transporter here. Let us say XYZ transporter. Account should be credited. Now, what is the logic behind the entry? The logic behind the entry is transportation expenses. It is a nominal account. Expenses and losses, it should be debited. XYZ transporter, the the transportation company which transported our raw material from the vendor's place to the factory, it is a personal account. They have given their services to us. The business owes money to them. That is why we have to remember him as a giver. Because if you today remember him as a giver in our books of accounts, we owe money to them. Now what will happen because of this entry is, if you open XYZ transporter account in the ledger, we'll write here by transportation expenses 1 lakh. Now this account, personal account, is showing a credit balance. That means this amount of money is due from the business to this person. That means they have given these services to the business and the business owes money to them. So they will appear as creditors in the business books of account. That means the business owes money to them. Whenever the due date comes, we have to pay them cash or either check to settle their accounts. So this is how we record. So when we pay cash for an expense account is debited and cash account is credited. When we pay the money by check, bank account is credited and salaries account is debited here. When it is due, when the expense is due but we have not paid it, we record the expense. Expense account is debited, and the vendor or the service provider who has provided us the services account is credited. So this is the logic behind the entries. Let us learn some more journal entries. We have learned till now 11. Let us go to the 12th transaction now. Now our cell phones are ready. We have sold some mobile phones. These are our finished goods. Sold mobile phone for cash. We have now sold some stock of finished goods. You can call here stock of finished goods for cash, say rupees 2 crores. So we have sold a lot of stock of the mobile phones which we have manufactured for cash. It's very easy to record it. Cash account should be debited rupees 2 crores because cash account is real account is coming in, hence debit. Now the stock is going out. The stock of finished goods is going out. An asset is going out, and in its exchange we are getting some cash. We write the name here sales, the term we use instead of stock here. Stock account should be credited 2 crores. So what is the logic? Cash, real account comes in, hence debit. Sales, you can say within bracket stock, it is real account, goes out, credit. Or we can also call as sales is income for the business, it's gain for the business. Nominal account, incomes and gains, credit. Both the logic will give you the same entry. So what we can understand here, that we are receiving an asset called as cash, and in return an asset is going out, or we can say cash is coming in for an income called as sales. These are my personal views. Please follow what your teachers are teaching in the classroom for your examination purposes. Sold, again stock of finished goods to distributors or to the wholesalers, and we have received check, say rupees 1 crore. Now we have sold some more stock to distributors and they have given us check instead. Now what will happen? When we receive a check, we deposit the check in the bank and the bank receives money. So bank account is debited here. And this money is coming for an income called as sales. I am selling stock. Stock account, sales account should be credited. What is the logic? Bank, it is personal account, it is now receiving the money. When we receive the check, we deposit it in the bank, and the bank receives the money from the people who have issued the check. Bank is a personal account, receiver, hence account is debited. And then sales account, we can call it as stock. If you treat it as stock, then we'll say real account goes out, credit. If you say sales is incomes and gains, it is nominal account, hence it is credited. Okay, let's learn one more transaction. Sold stock of finished goods, that is our mobile phones, on credit to customers. So we have some distributors, we have sold it on credit to them, rupees 1 crore, and we have given them 3 months time to make the payment to us. That means they can sell these phones in the market and they can settle our payment in 3 months time. We have sold the goods, but we have not yet received the money. We will receive the money in the future. So what is the entry I'll write here? First I'll recognize my income, 2 sales, stock is going out, hence that account should be credited. The value of the stock which has gone out of the business is now 1 crore. This includes our profit also, and the money has to come from our customers, and in the accountancy language we call them as debtors. The distributors who have purchased our cell phones to be sold to the end use customer, his account is debited. Why is his account debited? Because we have to remember him as a person who has received some money from the business, so that in the future we can say, boss, you have received money from us, now give it back to us. They owe money to the business, that is why their account is debited. So I'll write here debtors, customers, personal account, they have received stock from the business, hence debit. Sales, stock, if I treat it as a real account, it goes out, hence credit. If I treat sales as incomes and gains for the business, it becomes nominal account, it should be credited. Okay, so we'll continue learning some more journal entries in the next video.